fight in May with Nakatani and Inoue will be the same kind of exciting fight.
Okay. So, were you surprised tonight, Inoue knocked down?
Well, you're always surprised and your heart when your fighter gets knocked down.
Okay.
So, but we knew that Cardenas was a very good fighter, and that's why we made the match, because people are coming. This is a big weekend in Las Vegas. We're not going to put Inoue in with a nothing guy. We had to put him in with a real fighter. And so that's what we got. We got a really good fight.
Okay. Will you set up Junto versus Naoya is a rematch in Las Vegas next week, 2026?
Well, first, the one thing I will tell you without any question, that when Nakatani and Inoue fight, it will be in Japan. And then, if there's a rematch, I would be honored to do it in the United States, but all we are talking about is the fight itself, the first fight. And that belongs to Japan, not the United States, not Saudi Arabia, Japan.
But you're considering not only one fight, but also two fights?
Right, I don't do that. I go one fight at a time. Because what happens, I don't believe it to be the case, that the first fight is so one-sided, and so then why would you do a rematch?
But do you think same level as American Tenebari versus Eric Morales?
Right, it could possibly be like the great trilogies that we had, Morales, Pereira, Marquez, and Pacquiao. Yeah.
And Paulie Ayala versus Johnny Tapia. Okay. Thank you so much.
Bob, what did you think of the attendance?
What?
8,000 people.
It was a brilliant performance, and thank God it was a great fight and within a great show, and boxing needed that, having swallowed and paid money for Friday night's show from New York and Saturday's show from Riyadh. This was really what boxing is about. The other stuff just defies what it's about, but it's certainly not entertaining. It's agonizing.
Are you going to be far more scrutinizing in regard to sending your fighters to deal with the Saudis in the future based on what happened this weekend?
No, let's be honest about it. There's no medals on any of us in boxing. And if the Saudis offer one of my fighters really big money to fight in a fight that I really believe will be non-competitive and boring, yeah, I would send him over, because the money is the money. This is a business. We're not playing around, and we're not amateurs. So while I might not like sending my fighter to any place if he's going to be in a boring fight, if the money is so overwhelming, I really have no choice.
Or a losing fight like Anderson.
What?
Or a losing fight like Anderson did in August.
Well, no, I would never do that. I didn't. That wasn't my call.
You won't do that again, is what you're saying.
That wasn't my call.
Okay.
Do you think continue to be Nakama boxing?
What?
Las Vegas will continue to be Nakama boxing?
I don't know what it
You mentioned boxing. Do you think Las Vegas will continue to?
Well, sure, it's great. You get great crowds here. But fortunately, we have other cities in the United States that can do big fights, like New York. And, you know, I've now had the experience of being at 3-4 events a year in Tokyo, and those crowds are unbelievable. And I was there for the Tokyo Dome fight, fight when he fought Neri, and that was tremendous. I mean, like 55,000 people. Yeah. So, you know, Tokyo will, with all the good Japanese fighters coming up in the lighter weight division, Tokyo will be home for many big boxing events because the talent is there. I mean, you saw this kid, Hideki, today. I mean, nobody really heard him much. It's Honda-san, a Taikon's fighter. Hideki, he can be a big star. So many good fighters in Japan that means that there'll be a lot of big events in Tokyo, Yokohama, maybe Osaka, you know, in the months to come.
Well, Canelo Crawford was announced last night. What's your thoughts on the fight? Canelo versus Crawford was announced last night. What's your thoughts on the fight?
I think, you know, who knows? But, you know, these guys getting so much money, what their incentive is to really perform. I mean, look what happened because, I mean, let's be honest. Canelo was in with not a very good fighter on Saturday. And he was getting $50 million to fight, and he already had been promised $100 million to fight Crawford. So why would he take a chance, right? But that's no good for boxing. You see, in the old